Welcome everybody to Monday Motivation, and you see there's two of us. We're using I don't remember what this app is called. I don't know, the app that allows me to do this, and this is like interview style, where they can see me on one side and you on the other side, and your Sunday lunch. We're at an appropriate more than 6 feet distance. We're having Sunday lunch. We picked it up from Papa Jack's, which we're continuing to try to support the local businesses as best we can during this challenging time, and they had their normal menu, and you just did drive through. It was really fast, actually. Did not take us very long. Last week I talked about kind of the circumstances that the world is facing, and that was a more serious tone. I thought it might be more fun to have a little humor this week, since I think humor is something a lot of us could need, and Victoria has no idea what we're about to do.
Nope.
But I just thought I'd tell Victoria a story. It's a new story to the channel, maybe not new to Victoria, but I think it is something that will make people laugh, smile, and maybe to start your Monday morning, you can have a few minutes of enjoyment while Victoria eats her Sunday lunch, and me as well. So, you all understand the safety game, I think. If you don't understand the safety game, the way it works is if you flatulate, pass gas, let it go a little toot, something of that nature, you have to say safety. And if you don't say safety, and someone else says doorknob, they get to punch you on the shoulder until you touch the doorknob. Pretty straightforward. Over the years, doorknobs have happened in very challenging times. There are some addendums to the rules. I do believe that there is a rule that in a place of worship, you always have safety. So a church, something like that, a sanctuary. In a theater, you always have safety. Just because the level of disruption that would happen in that circumstances is immense. So, there's some addendums to that rule over the years, but generally speaking, that's the rule. Now, I always play the safety game because you don't ever know who else is playing. So I always say safety. I could be in the mall, I'm saying safety, because somebody may hear you get doorknob and you're in trouble. Especially in the mall, because most of those are sliding doors. It's going to be hard to find a doorknob. I can remember the worst doorknob that ever happened to me was at football practice in middle school. And someone got a doorknob on me, and we're in the middle of the football field. Ain't no doorknob anywhere close, and you're in the middle of practice, and you just take off running to the locker room to touch the doorknob, and the coach was like, what? And you have to run some more, but it's better than, because at the football field, you're getting tackled for the doorknob. So, doorknob game, safety game, whatever you want to call it. It's been played I've been playing it for, 25, 30 years. However, there was a time, my senior year of high school, where we got bored of the safety game, and we wanted to do something new and play a new game. And we tried something new, and we were going to discontinue the safety game. And this is a story that I do not believe Victoria knows. However, if Seductive Steve is watching this, I am curious if Steve will know what I'm about to say. There was another flatulence-related game. It was called the blank game that was played for a short period of time. Steve, if you know, comment right now, the blank game, and we'll see if Steve was right. So this was during football season, and we were not going to play the safety game anymore. We were going to try to do something new, freshen it up. And we started to play a game that was called the color game. The color game. I wonder if Steve guessed correctly. And in the color game, it was a very similar situation where if you flatulated, tooted, let it ride, release the crop dust, any of those things, if you did that, you had to say a color. So instead of going safety, you'd be like, oh, red. And if you heard a color be said and you're in the room, you also have to say a color. It has to be a new color. So I just said red. What color would you say?
Blue.
And if you said red, it'd be like, no, you've already said it. You have to pick another one, right? Mm-hmm. The final person, whoever's last to say a unique color, would have to make a noise of the adult persuasion, let's say. Not safe for work noise, reflective of activities of a certain nature, so to speak. Possibly something that a person of the night may make. This type of noise. You know. They'd have to make that noise loudly. So, this became the game we'd play. However, because all of the teachers and coaches were used to the safety game, they didn't know what was happening. So just in the middle of the classroom, you just hear red, blue, yellow, oh! And they wouldn't know why that happened. What had led to this occasion. We went, we played a football game. It was Burke County, that area. And after the game, we won, and there was a family that lived out there that was hosting us for, I don't know, celebrate the win, dinner, barbecue, whatever it was. I don't remember all those details, but something like that. We're all there, the whole football team, and various parents. And so there came a time where all of us were sitting in this one living room, like all cramped together, all football team. And somebody lets out a color, and it begins. But the flatulence itself, the toot, you know, the wee willy whoop 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 out of the booty, was really loud. So it triggered in our coaches what had happened. Because he heard the noise, and then he heard the colors, and then he heard the other noise. And so he had finally understood how this was happening, and that was it. No more. No more color game. And if he heard a color being said, we all had to run. That was what became the rules. We tried for like a day to see if we could get away with making it, instead of like a female of the night, perhaps like a rhinoceros of the night or a baboon of the night or some type of, you know, animal noises of copulation. That also didn't work. And we all had to run. And so we retired the color game because, at least in the safety game, it was just like shame, and maybe one person had to run if they had to go touch the doorknob, but it wasn't team-wide punishment. So the color game got discontinued. And ever since, safety games remained. I don't think I've played the color game since then. Did you know that story?
No, I had heard the phrase "the color game."
You just didn't know what it
referenced.
referenced?
But I didn't know what that was. Yeah, I didn't know.
Do you have any recollection of hearing,
No.
suggestive
No.
noise phrasing in the middle of the cafeteria?
No, I have no recollection of this.
Okay, well, there it is. The only person that would be watching this that would remember that is Steve, as he was a participant in the color game because we played football together. So there you go. Hopefully that's worth a laugh. We're going to eat our Sunday lunch, and we're all going to continue to get through this together. Please support your local businesses if they are open. In our county now, it's moved to mandatory closures for any non-essential. So even like comic book stores are now officially closed. But you can still do online probably. Settle up with people that you may owe money to, comic pulls, or if you got pre-ordered toys that are sitting at a shop, try to pay them online, PayPal, and they'll ship it to you, I'm sure. Support your local businesses, help everybody out. Everybody needs help right now from each other. So focus on that. Any final words about color game or anything you'd like to share the Monday motivation crowd?
No, I know it's a hard time for everybody, so hopefully this brought some joy and a little laughter, as it did to me. And yeah, we'll get through this together and just try to be supportive of your businesses and also just your friends, and being there for people, reaching out to them, messaging them. You know, you can do FaceTime, Skype, whatever. And just kind of checking in with people right now, because it's a really hard time, even for people that maybe don't say it's hard for them. It's a really hard time.
It's hard for everybody. We're far enough along where even the strongest people are cracking.
Yeah.
So do what you can. All right. I hope you all have as good a week as we can have in this. I'll talk to you next time. Aquamarine!
Orange?
No, you were last!
Oh, no.
Oh!